Okay, so usefulness of PED to a producer, and this is a very common question, which is why I'm doing it. So a producer basically wants to maximize his total revenue, where his total revenue is a product of price and quantity, right? So what the producer can or should do is could implement a strategy called price discrimination, where he charges different prices for different people for the same product, because of the simple idea that a product could be elastic for some individuals but inelastic for other individuals. So he wants to find out, and like we're not going to take the other three cases because they are extreme cases, so real world mein to dikhte nahi hai. So usefulness mein we'll just stick to the realistic ones. So there are two cases, right? The two cases are where the product is elastic for the consumers or where it is inelastic for the consumers, or it could be elastic for some and inelastic for others, whatever. So in the elastic case, to maximize total revenue, he should decrease price by a very small amount, because if he does so, quantity demanded will increase by a much larger amount, and thus total revenue should be maximized. Why is that? Because the idea is price thosi kam hui, it did hurt total revenue, but quantity demanded increase by a much larger amount. So if there was 10% increase, 2% decrease, overall 8% to increase ho gaya na. That's the idea. And vice versa, like you could just flip the arrows for the second case. But the idea here is you have a, what do you call it, a negative relationship between price and total revenue. For inelastic case, if you take blue, price को आपने बहुत large amount से बढ़ा दिया, right? You increase price by a very large amount, फिर भी quantity demand हल्का सा कम हुआ, not by a lot, like, yeah. So the idea is then total revenue should again increase, because quantity demanded did decrease, but price increased by a much larger amount, so it compensated for that. So you have a positive relationship. I'm sorry, I guess I think I misquoted something. You shouldn't flip the arrows in this case, because in the elastic case, if you increase price, you will in fact decrease total revenue. If you increase price, the quantity demanded will decrease by a much larger amount, hence decreasing total revenue. So don't do that. But if you draw this graphically, so yeah, you have well, this is a flat. You have, well, it should be a little flatter ideally. So you have कुछ ज़्यादा ही flat बन गए. Elastic case, आपने price ली, आपने price को हल्का सा कम कर दिया, सही है. You हल्का सा कम किया price को, तो quantity demanded increased by a much larger amount. And if you look at total revenue, so पहले total revenue was this, because it's price into quantity, so it's kind of like your rectangular area. Now total revenue is this, which is much more. So you maximize total revenue. In the cases of inelastic, you have price, you have quantity, you have inelastic demand curve, and आपने काम किया, you increase price by a much large, मतलब by a huge amount, because people बहुत कम लोग छोड़ के जाएंगे. So basically what you have managed to do, पहले ये था total revenue, now you successfully managed to increase your total revenue to this, to this particular dabba. That's the idea. So these are the two strategies that will help you क्या कहते हैं, increase your total revenue, in case you get a question about this. We looked at the other three cases in the previous video, but just to recap them, in unit elasticity, it doesn't matter what you do, the total revenue will remain the same. In what do you call it, perfectly inelastic, you should just increase price as much as you want, because quantity won't change, you'll just increase total revenue. In perfectly elastic, that was perfectly inelastic. In perfectly elastic, well, you can't really affect price, you can just try to sell as much at the given price. And that's it for revenue maximization.